Hey friends, it's Tara with Wellness with Tara. I am trying something a little different today. I'm actually doing this live video on both my business page as well as my business group by using my computer and my phone at the same time. So we're going to see how this works out for us, but still experimenting with Facebook Live and determining the best place to have my video. So if you see me kind of looking back and forth between cameras, that's going to explain a little bit why. So we'll just see. We'll just bear with me. We'll see what works best for us. So today we're going to talk about how our different personalities and just the different ways we live in the world affect and impact our stress. Because you may think that everybody reacts to stress the same way, but in reality we really don't. Some people, either by genetics or by the way that they were brought up and their life experiences or simply their personality, may, immediately go into a fight mode. Like they get stressed out, they want to fight, they want to take on the stressor, they want to do what needs to be done, and they want to fix it. Some of us very naturally may go into what they call the freeze mode, where it's like you literally feel like you're paralyzed and you don't even know what to do because there's so much stress. Honestly, this is a temptation of mine, is to go into this freeze mode where I feel like there's so much going on, I don't even know where to start, and so therefore I literally just like freeze, right? Maybe literally, maybe non-literally, but sometimes it feels like I'm literally frozen. And some of us may very naturally go into flight, do whatever we can to get away from the stressor, go as far as we can away from that stressor, and then we don't have to think about it, then we don't have to deal with it, right? So those are some that you may have heard, that the most common ones that you hear about: fight, flight, or freeze are the most common ones. But the book that I've referred to in the past called The Upside of Stress by Kelly McGonigal, she also mentions a couple of other responses that we can have to stress. One of those is what she calls the challenge response. So the challenge response is similar to the fight response, but the way that you interact with the stressor is a little bit different. So instead of fighting at it from a mode of I need to attack this, I need to deal with, and your blood pressure rises, your blood vessels constrict, you start to get that kind of panicky feeling inside, your anxiety rises. When she refers to a challenge response, that's more similar to like if you go to the gym and you start exercising. You do have that physical stressor on your body, right? Whatever it is, whether you're lifting weights or running or whatever, that is actually stress on your body. But when you're doing this in a way that is calm and your mindset is a little differently toward the gym, well, maybe it is, depending on how much you enjoy the gym, but your mindset may or may not be a little bit different there, your blood vessels actually will open up some so that you have optimal blood flow through your body, and your body can actually calm and relax and then decide how to take on the stressor in a way that's going to be most beneficial. That is a challenge response. So even just thinking through how when stressors present themselves to us, how we react to them, if we can reframe our thought process to be more of a challenge response instead of that fight response, we can actually make benefit out of that stressor. So let me give an example here. A common thing that people get stressed out about is public speaking, okay? Not very many people like to do public speaking, and I actually love it, but I used to hate it, and I used to get so scared, so much so that I would get red splotchiness like all up my face, all down my neck. I mean, I was so embarrassed even by that. I was hoping and praying it was during the wintertime where I can wear a turtleneck, right? So I can cover most of that, wear my hair down, put it like this. Speaking of which, my hair is totally flat and straight today because we lost power this morning. A tree went down and took out our power line, so I didn't even get a chance to fix my hair. I had no power. But anyway, that's totally beside the point. But with people who speak, right, they could go into the speech feeling all those things that I mentioned earlier. Anxious, nervous, sweaty palms, shaking. Oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? I'm going to mess up. What if they hate me, etc., etc. Or they can go into it with a slightly different mindset along the lines of, okay, I feel this, right? Because we're going to feel it regardless. I feel this kind of anxiety inside me, but, mentally reframing that, this is exciting. This is a topic that I want to talk about. This is a situation that, maybe, well, I guess it depends on if you're actually wanting to do the public speaking, but if you're wanting to get something out of that public speaking, or you're wanting people to receive what you're saying well, even just having that feeling of confidence yourself, people feel that on the outside, okay? You can sit in front of a speaker 99% of the times and tell if they are scared to death or if they feel comfortable or confident, or at least are faking that they're comfortable and confident, right? And this is one of those situations where fake it till you make it, like, really truthfully works. So, just changing that mindset even changes our the way that our body responds to stress. So if you hear that stress kills you, stress can give you heart attacks, etc., etc., those things are absolutely true if you stay in that fight or flight response. But if you can turn it into a challenge response, hey Kelly, then that changes a little bit. So that challenge response totally changes. Hi Jamie. So that's one way. So we talk about the challenge response. And then you have what's called the tend and befriend response. And it happens more often, more naturally with women, but it's totally beneficial for women and men. And that is when we find ourselves in a stressed out situation, instead of immediately going internal and going in on ourselves and start trying to figure out all this stuff on ourselves, and just kind of just like this. I don't even know how to explain that, but you know what I'm talking about. Instead of doing all that, you actually reach out to someone. So whether that's a friend or a spouse, just somebody that you trust and you can share those things with. And physiologically, our bodies change because our bodies will then produce oxytocin, which is, the feel-good drug that right? And we physiologically feel calmer, we feel braver. Now we've also brought in somebody else who can help us kind of work through and manage that difficulty or that stressor. And even having an outside source there to help us overcome that stressor makes a big difference overall. So that's the tend and befriend response. And then lastly is the growth response. Hey Meg, nice to see you. The growth response is basically when you have some sort of a situation come up and happen, and instead of immediately becoming, fight, flight, freeze, whatever, instead of going all those things or feeling like, oh, I failed again, which is honestly a very natural response for me, the feeling of failure, thinking I have failed at someone or something or someone. But a growth response is more along the lines of, okay, this happened, or this is what it is. Like this morning when the power went out, which Meg is a neighbor, she knows this. When the power went out, I could have sat there, I could have been bitter and complained about the whole thing, and oh man, now I can't fix my hair, and I have this appointment this morning, which I did. I had a meeting that I would have kind of liked to fix my hair for. I could have done all those things, and I could have been even more stressed out. I was getting ready to get 2 of my kids out the door to preschool, right? But a growth response says, okay, this is what it is. Does my hair absolutely have to be curled to be presentable? No, it's just something that I've kind of gotten into. Do I have to have the power to get out the door with my kids right here at this moment? It would be nice. It'd be a lot easier than carrying around my flashlight on my phone, but it's not an absolute necessity. So, the kids, they were getting frustrated that they didn't have light to see where their shoes were and everything as we got packed up. But it is what it is, right? And so growing from that, or when you first start learning a new trade or a new hobby, piano playing or whatever, none of those things we get right off the bat, right? I mean, unless you're extremely gifted, and praise you if you are, but unless you're extremely gifted, you don't pick up a new hobby or a new thing you're trying to learn and just get it like that. Carpool line, that's awesome, Meg. I love it. I just got back from the carpool line. So you don't just get those right off the bat. So if you sit there and you think again like, I just can't do this, or I'm just no good at this, or the stressor itself comes in, and your children are being all, bad mood or whatever it is, and you immediately react with the same type of attitude or bad mood that they have, because isn't that what we're prone to do? I know I'm prone to do that. The growth response basically takes us out of that into a little more, outside perspective where we can make a better choice about how we're going to respond to something. And even that is going to change how your body, again, physiologically, y'all know I'm all about physiological stuff. I'm all about our bodies here and how we can help our bodies too. But that stress mindset, not only here, is going to help you physiologically lower that blood pressure, help you feel more calm, all those good things. So to sum all that up, because this video is getting a little long and I like to keep these very short, to sum all that up, fight, flight, and freeze are the more common ones you hear. And then in the words of Kelly McGonigal from the book The Upside of Stress, you've got the challenge response, the tend and befriend response, and the growth response. So we're continuing these chats on stress and what all that looks like. Would love to hear your thoughts. If there's anything else you all want to talk about stress, please let me know. Comment, like, hit the button, share this with others, go from there. So we'll see how this double video thing worked out today. But it was great having you guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye-bye.